You want to be one of the cool guys? Buy my merch.
Before we get into the breakdown, I just want to let you guys know, coming up on Wednesday, I'm starting a new podcast with my best mate Max. It's going to be called The Milkmen. No questions asked. Actually, if you want some of your questions answered, send a voice note to the email below, info@almightytraffordproductions.com, and we will get those answered on our podcast. It's not really a fight thing. It's just going to be casual. Me and my mate shooting the shit. Yeah, we'll try and keep it going, see how it goes. I think he's bored of being a truck driver and he wants to become a famous podcaster. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, enjoy. UFC 313 coming up next weekend. With Alex Pereira taking on Magomed Ankalaev. Very good fight. We had a switch up in the co-main event. We have Fiziev fighting Justin Gaethje in a rematch. The first one was very close. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, two really interesting fights. One title fight and a couple of points on this card. You got Blaydes fighting on the prelims. He is fighting Kuniev, who is on PFL. He beat Renan Pereira, the giant guy that Francis Ngannou just knocked out. He beat him, and he was one of the many people that were surprise tested by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and he failed. He failed for 4 different anabolic steroids, and I've never heard these things in my life. But he failed for drostanolone, metenolone, boldenone, and 19 noradrosterone. Apparently, according to Tapology, that's where I got this information before anyone comes at me. But I mean, the guy failed for 4 different anabolic steroids. I don't know if he got released or if his contract was up or whatever. Fought in Dana White Contender Series and is now fighting the number 5 heavyweight contender, Blaydes, on a prelim spot, which is like, in my personal opinion, you fail for that kind of. I don't know what that shit does. Like, I know it's steroids, I know it's anabolic. So if someone can leave in the comments below what the benefits of those 4 things do. I've never heard of 19 drostanolone or whatever it is, or any of those, boldenone. So yeah, leave in the comments if you do know what that shit does. I googled it, but I don't know. It didn't really give me a clear answer. But I just feel like it's not right that Kuniev faces a suspension for being on all these steroids, gets a contender series slot, and then gets to fight a number 5 contender in his debut. I just feel, in my personal opinion, I feel like you fail like that, you're fucking out. Like, you're never eligible to fight in the Premier League, the UFC. You were never eligible to be amongst the best guys. That's how I feel. I get that mistakes happen and some guys have tainted tests and take a bit of creatine that has some test in it. That's what everyone says, right? They take something in. There was, what was it? Osterine was a popular one. Everyone was popping for and saying it was in their supplements. But surely 4 anabolics didn't sneak their way into your supplements, your whey protein. Surely that didn't happen. So I haven't heard an excuse or anything like that. I didn't see any rebuttal. I just feel like it's not right to get rewarded with a top 5 matchup after facing a suspension for that and another promotion releasing you. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure no one's gonna care too much about that. It's a heavyweight fight. I'm sure it's going to be fun. Blaydes is very good. I'm hoping for Blaydes to win. Because of the shake-up, I'm not sure entirely of the order of the fight. So when I did my reviews, I didn't organise it properly. So I'm a bit all over the place. When I first checked that fight was on the prelims, I think it still is. I feel like it should be higher on the card, but it is what it is. Yeah, let me know what you think of that. Like, do you think, you failed drug tests like that? Are you out? Or like, should you be eligible to get signed and compete in the UFC? Should you have to earn a period of being clean, or should you be heavily tested to make sure you ain't on shit? I don't know. There's always ways around these things, and there's definitely still guys cheating, and I don't know, fucking scumbags basically. Like, how you gonna have a career of cheating and then retire and be all happy with yourself? Like, I'm injured right now, and I'm doing fucking red light therapy. I'm doing like grounding, oxygen therapy, acupuncture, meditating. I'm sure if I went into my dad's stack, I'd probably be recovered by now, That'd be sweet, but I ain't going to do that because it's not in the rules. It's what we're not allowed to do, and that's that. So onward, I believe we have Yasmin Lucindo versus Amanda Lemos. I'll be honest, I didn't watch enough of their fights because it wasn't on the main when I was looking. Lemos is coming off of a loss. She lost to an armbar, and I literally watched a couple, got brief notes. Lemos is coming off a submission loss. Lucindo is surging on a 4-fight win streak. You know who's getting pushed and who's not. So I'm going to go with Yasmin Lucindo on that one. Okay, the first fight we're going to break down on the card is, the higher up the card, it's the main card I believe, is Ruffy fighting King Green. I watched a couple of Ruffy's fights. It was very sharp, very slick, very unorthodox striking. One of the big things that stands out for me is his balance. You know, he's never like, he does swing some big shots, but like he's always like perfectly balanced. He throws some unorthodox techniques, heel kicks, hook kicks. He does some like weird stutter steps, shoulder feints, like no look punches. He does some really nice stuff. He's very, very quick, and every shot he throws, he tries to be quick, and he throws hard and fast. He got tired in that last fight. I think it was Lontop. That guy was tough, man. He took some hard shots, and he just kept coming forward, and arguably won the third round. And Ruffy slowed down, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. The one thing I feel like with Green, that hands down sort of, good head movement sort of start. I don't think that works great against someone like Ruffy. Where if he can mix in like kicks and punches, he's going to catch him. Ruffy throws very sharp punches. Green can definitely tire him out, make him miss, and punish him. But I just feel like keeping your hands down against a guy that throws like hook kicks, back kicks, all these things. You don't really want your hands down. It would be better if he was like Green with someone that's hands up and going to smother you and like pressure you. This kind of fight, like a guy like Ruffy is very sharp, very fast in the early rounds. If you get him backing up and pressure him, smother him, don't give him any clean shots, I feel like he's gonna tire like he did against Lontop. Lontop just kind of kept the high guard, walked at him, and took all his shots. Green has been on the receiving end of some hard shots, been in some brawls, been knocked out recently. He had that last fight, he got hurt and finished by Paddy. You definitely know the tide is on Ruffy's side. Ruffy's probably going to win it, I feel. Just interested to see, can Green cause some problems? Can he tire him out? And if Ruffy does get tired and doesn't finish him with the sharp strikes in the first sort of 1.5 rounds, can Green him out enough pressure and put it on him to tire him out and wear him out? He's definitely got that style. Just like to see his hands up to block them shots and sort of pressure. That's Green's route to victory, Frustrate him, make him miss, make him irritate him, annoy him. These guys are so sharp, like he's so fast and crisp. If you make him miss and make him pay, he's going to get tired, he's going to get stressed. And same thing, if you back him up, this is the kind of guy, like he's not good at going backwards. I know there was a lot of comparisons to like McGregor from DC in his last fight, but I think it was DC. I see somewhat, like he stands with his hands sort of mid-chest and his chin a little bit up, and he's very fast with his feet, slides in and out of distance, unorthodox striking techniques. But I just feel like, I feel like he's going to win, right? I feel like Green's going to be with his hands down, Ruffy's going to mix up the punches and kicks, catch him slipping. That's how I'm seeing it. Next up, you have a lightweight matchup with Jalen Turner and Bahamondes. Both some really tall lightweights, 6'3" apparently. Sometimes these things are wrong. I'm 5'8", obviously not. I'm 5'9". Thank you. Jalen Turner, I believe he has 8 losses on his record. 4 of those are by knockout. Bahamondes, very nice. He has like great distance control. He slides in and out of range, very nice. Nice pull too. Pull right hands, very good. Good distance and timing on the head kicks. Probably won't be a big factor in this where they're both so tall. I don't think they'll be like hunting head kicks at each other. But that pull too could be a factor. Jalen Turner's distance control isn't as good as Bahamondes. Even though he's as long, right? He just throws nice long shots, and I think he's sort of the tarantula. He's used to being the longer guy. He throws a very nice teep. Very nice teep. He just sort of stabs it up the middle. And he hurt Moicano with it. He didn't really go back to it. I think he was worried about getting caught in the grappling exchanges, so he didn't really go back to it. But very nice teep, very nice 1-2. Good power in his hands as well. But I just feel Bahamondes, distance control, him sliding out of range and picking him apart is going to be the difference in this. Yeah, Turner's like a real long, tall southpaw, nice left leg teep up the middle, stab to the belly. I mean, he can make good use of that here. I don't think the threat of him getting taken down is too high. I feel it's going to be more of a striking battle. Yeah, I'm going with Bahamondes, and it's just based on footwork. He's a bit lighter, he slides in and out, seems to have a better understanding of range control, and he's a bit better at controlling distance and, you know, reading that range. Turner sort of seems to get stuck in and fall into the range. He doesn't fight like he's super long and tall, you know. He throws like long teeps and long punches, but like he doesn't use his feet with it. I think maybe a problem of being so tall that you don't really have to use much footwork to slide in and out. In the co-main event, we have late replacement Rafael Fiziev fighting Justin Gaethje in a rematch. It was a very exciting fight. I felt like it was very close. To be honest, I remember watching it and I felt like Fiziev won the fight. He just had more moments in the fight, nicer, crisper combinations. He landed the better work, knees, head kicks, all those things. The body kicks in that fight were great. I know Justin Gaethje sealed it with a takedown in the last minute of the round, or like last 10 seconds of the round. The two cuts Fiziev had, he had a cut under both eyes and like a bit of swelling. Damage wins fights, and that must have been what the judges scored that fight on, you know. That was the only thing that really separated it, was the damage. I felt like all night, all 3 rounds, Fiziev landed the better work, but, you know, Gaethje must have landed the more damaging shots with us, like the cuts and that. But, you know, take the damage out of it, would you score it for Fiziev? That's what I'm saying. It was a very close fight. In this one, I'm going to go with Fiziev in this one. I feel like he's fresher. He's had a bit of time off with an injury. Gaethje, he's been hurt. He's been knocked out. He's had wars, and he's always in wars. I just feel like Fiziev is going to be a surgeon for this one, and I think the adjustments from the first fight, I feel like he can do the exact same as the first fight and not take the damage. You know, a little bit more defensive, a little bit more of a better guard, maybe a bit better of like distance control himself, you know, sliding out of the way, throwing his shots and getting out of the way, being a bit more patient maybe. He didn't rush in the first fight, but you know, he got caught with a couple of shots. He slowed down a bit. He was landing some really nice body kicks and knees up the middle, because Gaethje kind of sort of sits in and throws his overhands. Like he was wailing right hands at him and missing big. I'm going to go with Fiziev in this one. The late notice, probably underdog. I don't know. If you're a betting person, let us know, because I don't have a clue. I'm not allowed to bet, so I don't hardly look. But yeah, I'm going to go with Fiziev. I just think the kicks, the knees up the middle, I feel like the adjustments he'll make will just be a little bit more defensively sound. You know, keep a tighter guard, tighter on the brakes, and not get hit when they exit. Yeah, I think that's that. In the main event, for the lightweight title, you have Ankalaev fighting Alex Pereira. Ankalaev has been accusing Pereira of ducking him for a long time. You know, you got a feel for Ankalaev. He's been trying to get his title shot for a while, and it's been passed around. He had a shot, then he got the draw and all those things. Controversial draw in a fight where he got his legs kicked to pieces, his calves kicked to pieces against Jan Blachowicz. You know, his leg, you know, he was limping. He had to switch stance. He nearly got he could have got finished with leg kicks. He got some wrestling. He scrambled into some takedowns and scored some takedowns and control. Very like controversial decision. Pretty close. Could have been both guys, but a mutual opponent. You know, Pereira beat Blachowicz. I just feel Thiago Santos dropped Ankalaev with a left hook. You know, as a southpaw, that's something everyone throws against a southpaw, is a lead hook. Orthodox just throw on the southpaws. I just feel like, you know, he's there for it. He got dropped by Thiago Santos, a very good striker, but Pereira literally has one of the scariest left hooks you've ever seen in the UFC. Right, he has the most deadly left hook, and also his calf kicks are like, they're horrible. He throws them so nice. The power in them is crazy. You know, two things you've seen Ankalaev be vulnerable to: calf kicks, left hook. You know, I just feel like Ankalaev has to get Pereira down. He has to get him down, control him, wear him out, submit him, ground and pound him. You know, they're seeing videos now of Ankalaev doing some ground and pound drills. I'm not sure if that's his strategy. My thoughts are, though, it must be so easy for Pereira to correct what he has to correct. He's obviously clearly the best striker, you know. He knocked out Izzy. He's knocked out like all the top strikers in his division. He's running through him. I know he got knocked out by Izzy, but they've had their thing going for a while. You know, kickboxing world champion, K1 world, all these things, glory champ. His kickboxing is levels above. All he has to work on is not getting taken down. All he has to fix in the gym is not getting taken down. Like his wrestling on the wall, his wrestling in the open, and the rest should follow, right? If you're a jiu-jitsu specialist and you know you can submit everyone in the division, all you have to work on is getting everyone down to the ground. It's that simple, because you know everyone is going to be trying to keep it standing and to stop you taking them down. So it's the opposite for Pereira. He knows, you know, he's been kind of blessed to fight all strikers in the division, but like he knows like the biggest flaw in his game is the wrestling. Anyone that is going to look for an advantage against him is going to be the wrestling. I feel like Ankalaev is inevitably going to end up shooting. I feel like Pereira has been preparing for this moment, like for guys to try and wrestle, and you know, he is getting better and better and better. Maybe you haven't seen it in his skill set because guys haven't shot on him recently, but I think he's making the improvements, and I think he's going to be a lot harder to take down than you think. Ankalaev got some sloppy takedowns against Jan Blachowicz. I feel like it's going to be harder to take down Pereira. I think he's going to have working on it, and I feel like, you know, you're going to see that. You're going to see him stalking Ankalaev. You're going to see him getting backed up. I don't think Ankalaev's used to getting backed up. You're going to see Pereira walking down. He has a presence, you know, he doesn't, his guard isn't like traditionally good, but the way he hangs his hands kind of low, he has like an intimidating factor about where he eats up the space, and everything he does you end up reacting to. And I've been in there with guys that do this in the gym and fights, and it's tiring. You end up reacting to every little move they do. You know, he twitches his shoulder forward, you sort of end up getting a big reaction. Even if it's just an eye reaction, you know, you don't necessarily react your body, like you twitching, you're looking where he's going, you're giving big reactions, and those things are tiring. And that's something I feel Pereira does very good. You know, he just sort of looks at your feet, and next thing you're sort of checking where your legs are, you know. Little mind games in there, little things that the casual guys probably don't see, you know, little things that you probably don't understand. There's something about what he does that burns people out and makes them second guess. And I feel like you're going to see that in this fight. You know, maybe Ankalaev has come out before. I see him with Rakic. He come out early and throw hard. You might see him come out early and throw some hard shots to try and get a bit of confidence going. Possible. You know, he's very powerful himself. He's a big man himself. He's got power in his left hand. A nice slip too. Nice head kicks himself. I just feel like if striking is your route, Pereira is going to be too good for you. Mixing in the wrestling, best bet. If you can't get him down after wrestling, then that's a heartbreak for you. You know, it's going to really crush your will if you've come in thinking like you're going to easily take him down, and the next thing he's defending your takedowns and you're getting tired because you're shooting sloppy takedowns. Just my opinion. I feel like Pereira is going to improve in those areas. I might be massively wrong. Sometimes I am. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Let me know your picks. Let me know what you think of my picks. It's going to be a good card. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more of our videos, make sure you turn the notification bell on so you don't miss future uploads. You know, we do these every month. There's a pay-per-view. I'll try and keep one going. I know I've been pretty shit at being consistent with them in the past, but yeah, a comment, the subscription, you know, all those things, sharing it to your friends, it really helps. As just trying to grow the channel, bring you guys better content. The better this goes, the more you guys like it. Your feedback is very valuable, and we do appreciate it. We have some Almighty merch stuff going. We have new hoodies. It also says Almighty on the back, and it's green, army green. So yeah, and if you want a discount on your first order, use AAA10 for 10% off. Okay, that's only for first orders. So if you've been coming back a few times, maybe if you make a fake email address and something like that, depends how bad you want that 10% off. But yeah, free UK shipping, which is always a winner in this time. Maybe one day I'll hand deliver some or something like that. That could be fun. Yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you've watched this far, it means a lot. Your call is important to us. Thanks for watching.